it's Diane and welcome to my channel, Diane's Sewing Room. So this is part 2 of making my quilted denim jacket. So I've quilted the fabric myself, and if you watched the last video you will have seen me starting on that. So today I'm going to try and crack on and get that finished today. So I showed you in the last video that I was doing the round neck on my jacket. Look, I've pieced it all together now, so the outer shell is finished. But then it was my son who had the idea. On the bomber jackets where we have the rib, now I haven't done it in rib because I didn't want rib on this fabric, but I've cut it out the same sort of shape. I don't know if you can see, it's only pinned on at the moment. So a bit like a sort of stand-up collar, but it goes away to nothing, just like a rib collar would do on a bomber jacket. Can you see there? So it's folded over at the moment and pinned in place. So at the back of the neck it will be like that. So at least the back of my neck won't be quite so exposed, because that's what I did feel on a jacket. You do sort of want your neck covered up, especially if it's cool enough to wear a jacket. It's your neck that can feel cold, and if it was just round I thought it might be quite bare. And also depending on what you're wearing it might be showing above it. So I think that is a really good idea that he had. So I've just cut that out and it's pinned in for now, but looking at it I think it does need a little bit of the quilting just to make it stand up a bit better, and just so that it blends in with the rest of the jacket. I don't know if I'll do the diamonds on it, I just think it just needs some stability. So I think I'm going to add a little bit of quilting in there just to make the collar stand up a bit better. I'm going to add all my lining pieces now, so I'm going to stitch them all together, and also it needs the zip down the front, so pretty much now we're nearly there. So hopefully we will be finished soon. So in this video you will definitely see the end product, and I will show you a few more steps. So I'm going to sort that collar out now, stitch that in place, and then I also need, because these were all in one piece on the original pattern and I'm putting a zip in, the original pattern doesn't have a zip. This is going to need to come off so that I've got a space for my zip to go in, and then I can put the facing behind it. So that's what I'm going to do with that. I'm going to draw a very neat line, cut down that and add in my zip. So that's what's coming next. So I'm going to get on with that now. So I've added some wadding to my collar. What I've done is I've just put it on half, look, because I did think if I put it on both sides it'd be way too thick. And I have decided to stitch over it in the quilting design, because I found if I didn't it was probably going to move around here, especially with me only putting it in halfway. So I have done the same diamond design on the rest of that, and then that'll be folded in half like this. Then I'm going to pin that in my jacket now. So I've stitched in my zip down each side first of all. I thought I'd better do that before I pin my collar in place. So I'm going to pin my collar to my neckline now, and I've just stitched both edges together. As you can see I've got lots of threads because of all this quilting, so I'm just trimming some of those off. So I'm sewing the lining pieces together now, so I just cut them out ever so slightly bigger than the jacket. Just literally just a few millimetres, not very much at all. The main body and back is this wild fabric that I had left over from a dress. This is viscose, and then the sleeves are just a regular lining fabric because I want them to slip on nicely. So I'm going to add those in now. So I'm hand stitching my lining to it while it's hanging, because sometimes I find it's just better to do it that way, and then you don't get it pulling funny on the other side. So I've got it on my mannequin here and I'm just hand stitching the lining up the sides of the front. So finished my jacket, and I can fit clothes under it. Look, I've got a cardigan on. I'm really pleased with how it's turned out. I have not added an inside pocket, but I am thinking these are plenty big enough, so if I had my phone on me and not a bag, there's plenty of room in the pockets. I'm really pleased with it. So it's been a slow make because I've been working on it this past week. I've not rushed it, but I'm really pleased with how it turned out, and I'm really glad that I added the things like the little collar and the zip and changed the pockets. So it's long enough to cover everything up. Look, turn around. I'll add in some pictures as well because the light's not very good in here at the moment, so you can't really see it properly. Come a bit closer. And it's got the wild lining. So I've been busy sewing today and I've finished my padded jacket, my quilted denim jacket. I'm really pleased with how it turned out. It is really comfortable and warm, and I've got a cardigan on today, and top, dress, cardigan, still managed to fit the jacket over the top. It didn't feel bulky at all. The pockets are big enough to fit things in. The lining looks really well with it. Really happy with it. So it was a bit of a slow project this week because usually I decide I'm going to make something, just rattle on with it and get it all done in sort of one sitting, but I'm really glad that I thought about this and took my time, changed my mind a few times and kept the idea in my mind of what I really wanted and waited and just made a few changes as I went along and stuck with it rather than just rushing to the finish, which I am guilty of sometimes, I have to say. So I'm happy with the jacket, so I'll give you another look. So put it on a hanger. So I'll come round it. It always does that when I hold it that way. So here we are, all the quilting and the deep pockets, and I think the lining is really wild. I think this little collar has worked really well with it as well. And inside the sleeves are red, so I'll just turn it to the inside and show you what I mean with that. So I've hand stitched all of the lining to the jacket, so none of that's been done on the machine, and the facing, which I said I would cut and put the zip in, I did that, and then I turned the facing under on the inside and hand stitched that as well. So the sleeves on the inside, this is what we're looking like. Red satin sleeves and the viscose lining of the body and back, and inside the cuffs it looks like this. Look where it's been hand stitched. So I think it's nice on the inside as well. I need to put one of my labels in the back of the neck now. And it's got this good sturdy zip on it as well. I'm really happy with it. So let me know what you think in the comments below. It's really been worth the effort and it's inspired me to quilt some fabric again. I mean, I'll definitely do that again on another jacket. I've seen a jacket actually on this really expensive website. I'd never buy anything that was that expensive ever, but somebody had bought some really nice sweaters and posted them on some vlog of theirs, and I just thought I'd just have a look because they were so nice, but the prices were unbelievable. But this jacket, about this same length with some patchwork on it, and it was white, was about £350–400. And I'm thinking, I could make that. So maybe I will do a copying the look kind of video at some point and do that one as well. But again, that wouldn't be rushed because this one's taken me ages, so one with patchwork on would take even longer. But it was nice, and that was more of a summery one with it being white with sort of pastel colours on it and things. So maybe that's something for another project. We will have to see. So many things to make. It's where to start, isn't it? So have you been doing anything like this? Please let me know. Now that I've quilted a jacket, I'm not at all daunted by quilting my quilt when it's finished, because at least now I've had a practice on this. Well, that's all from me for today. Oh, I'll let you know what I'm wearing because I know people do ask sometimes. I have worn this before. This is a Sienna dress by Simple Sew with pockets, and it's got little bears all over it. I have shared this before because I wore it a few times. So it's sleeveless, so I do wear it in the summer, but I've got a t-shirt on underneath. So it's a wardrobe builder's t-shirt, just white jersey, and this was the Bertha cardigan that I made, but it was driving me crazy with the dolman sleeves that came right out from the waist, and then every time you wanted to put a coat on you couldn't, and like it's snowing here at the minute, so you're not going to go anywhere without a coat on for most of the time in the UK anyway. So I couldn't get a coat on over the top. It kept annoying me a bit, especially when I was reaching for things. So what I did is I completely took this band off around the neck. I laid it out and I've cut here and I've made normal sleeves. So as you can see, it's now got an armhole there. You still got the triangles from where it was the original sleeves, but it's now got a proper arm in it. And I'm much happier with it. And I've had it on a few times this week already, and I'm feeling much better in it. Does it feel like it fits better rather than having those big sleeves? So while the birth cardigan is nice, and I would imagine it's much comfier in sort of a slub kind of knit, this is quite a stiff fabric because it's fleece backed and it's quite thick. So maybe it was a fabric choice. But anyway, I've changed it and I really like it like this. So I'll be back soon with some more makes. Please like and subscribe if you like this kind of thing, and thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.